Well, you wanted some more about the triangle method, so welcome back. Let's start by seeing how you got on with that question I left you with at the end of the last video. So in this question, you're being asked to work out the energy for a particular voltage and particular charge. This all links to that definition of voltage or potential difference, the energy transferred per unit of charge. So we need voltage is energy divided by charge. So here we're going to need to draw our triangle with E in the top first position, the top of the triangle. Therefore, when we cover over V, we're being shown to do energy divided by charge. Now we can cover over the E to see the rearrangement that we need to work out energy is voltage times charge. So it's time to substitute our values in, and by highlighting them carefully at the start, it's easy for us to substitute the 6 volts for our voltage and the 42 coulombs for our charge. Timesing them together, we get 252, and that will be in the standard unit of joules. So we've got 252 joules. I hope that you're either pleased that you got it right or pleased that you now understand where you went wrong so that you won't make that mistake again. Let's move on to another example. Let's make them a bit trickier now. So we're going to start with the equation for kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is a half mv squared. Now we can still make a triangle with this equation. We just need to block it out. So kinetic energy is one part, a half of the mass is another part, and the velocity or speed squared is the third part. We can then put that into our triangle. The kinetic energy will need to go at the top of our triangle so that when we cover it over, we're being shown to do a half of m times by v squared. So, if we need to rearrange to find the mass, we can find half of the mass by covering it over and doing the kinetic energy divided by the squared velocity or speed. That would find us half of the mass, and then all we'll need to do is times it by 2 to get all of the mass. Okay, it's time to practice, so pause the video, study this question and have a go at it before you look at my solution through. So I start by highlighting the relevant bits of the question and working out what information I have. Then recall my equation for kinetic energy and draw my triangle ready. Covering over the velocity squared, I can work that out if I do kinetic energy divided by a half of the mass. That will work me out velocity squared. So, substituting in the numbers from the question, I have 1,100 divided by a half of 8. Now a half of 8 is 4, so that's 1,100 divided by 4. So v squared is equal to 275. To find v, I need to square root v squared. So the square root of 275 rounds to give me 16.6 metres per second. And that's the answer I put to finish the question. How did you get on with it? The best way to gain confidence with your maths and physics is use purposeful practice. And you've got loads of resources to help you to do that. You've got your lesson booklet examples which you could cover over and try again. Same with your homework ones. There are the Eclair tasks. On the Google Drive you have all of those past papers with mark schemes and examiner reports that have model answers in them. And don't forget also there is Isaac Physics. Not just the ones I've set up for you, but you can play with it and have a go. You can make as many mistakes as you need to without me ever knowing that you made them. As well as the equations you need to learn, there's also the ones you have to apply from the formula sheet, and it's good to practice with those too. There's also always a random equation that you've never seen before thrown into the paper somewhere to test you. So we're going to finish with some purposeful practice. I've chosen 4 questions that are all from the 2018 papers, and you're going to pause the video and take time to try all 4 of them. It might be a good idea to take a break first and just recap those top 10 tips about maths and physics with this video first, but make sure you do stop and try the questions. Don't just keep watching and watch the answers. See you in a bit. Regular review gets a better grade for you. Regular review gets a better grade for you.
Don't forget to
Like,
so that I can keep making the videos.
comment,
Especially to request other revision topics.
subscribe.
So you can get notifications of when my next video gets uploaded.